What is good, y'all? Welcome back to Culture Shift Podcast with Raven50mm. We got Big Trav in the building today. What's good, Big Trav? Thank you for joining. Thank you for taking the time. I know you're super busy. How are you doing, though? How are things with you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. Honestly, I'm always just grateful to have opportunities to be on other people's platforms, especially platforms that I respect. So, thank you for wanting to do this conversation.
Absolutely. Most definitely. You have been at it with the public goods and with the build-a-thon. Can you speak? Okay, so before we jump into the project, can we get a little like precursor on how do you define public goods?
It's funny you say that. I just submitted my nights and weekends homework today, and I like put that in the video I submitted. But basically, anything that everyone and anyone can benefit from. Everybody has access to it. Anyone who wants access to something can get it and benefit from it. It's that simple, right? And that could be a number of things like parks are a public good. Public art installations are public good. Open source software, right? That's a public good. And then like there's a lot of cool Web3 projects like Pizza DAO is one of my favorite references, or Blunt DAO, that are turning smoke sessions or pizza to public goods by providing access to whoever's looking for it and wants it. So yeah, just anything that anyone and everyone can access and benefit from, really.
Okay, so these can be goods. They can also be services.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's
for sure.
pretty. It's a broad scope as long as you're contributing to the greater good. It sounds like okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of how we define it at PGC for sure. Like it's a broader, because we think that allows for more creativity around projects, doing different public goods. If we kind of leave it broad and then let our community decide, well, whose idea is cool enough or is um, is within our idea of that. Our community will decide that at the end of the summer with our grant situation, how we're dispersing the grants. It's community voted. So
Okay. Okay. And then can you talk a little bit on, if somebody this sounds like super interesting to somebody, they're like, yo, how can I get involved in this? You had talked about at the end of the summer that people could submit for grants. Can you talk a little bit give some insight into that?
yeah, today's the perfect day to do this because our website, the member tokens are actually live. We're soft launching it. It's hard launch on July 4th. So if you're watching this after July 4th, which I assume most people will, it's available now on our website, publicgoods.club. And you can just go get a membership token there. That membership token is cool because 55% of that purchase is like 0.0015 ETH plus like gas fees. So like about $5 to $7, let's say, worth of ETH. 55% of that goes to our treasury, which is going to be a portion of the grants. We're going to get more. Ideally, we'll get more grant funding from partners, outside funding, but internally, 55% of every member token purchase will go to that treasury. It's going to be split up into grants later on in the summer. The number will be defined closer to the end, but the goal is to split up 100% of the grants equally, the money equally within the treasury for grants. And the every holder of the tokens will be able to vote, similar to artist program, right? You're familiar with artist program
Mm-hmm.
because we're
Mm-hmm.
both in it, but similar to artist program, everyone will have votes on the submissions. And the challenge that we'll like use to call for submissions is really just asking for a creative public goods project that'll do the world some good, put smiles on people's faces, just have some positive impact, no matter how big or small. Ideally, it should be an idea you can execute with like $100, right? Something small. It doesn't have to be anything huge to have impact. That's kind of what we're trying to do with this one. And yeah, so to get involved, you go get a member token at the website. You can also collect our free mints. We have free mints collectibles of like the brand journey as we've been building this. So we've been posting things like that on Zora, but they're on base. So you can go collect that there. That those proceeds also go to the treasury as well. And if you're not on chain and you're not ready to do that yet, you could just like make some memes, do a repost, share videos, right? Tell somebody else about it. Just be involved, contribute however you want to. Honestly,
That's awesome. I love this idea. What inspired this project, and why was it important for you to start it now?
so many things inspired this project. To be honest with you, but I say the journey started last summer in Paris, actually around this time at HCC. I was around regens, which I didn't know was a thing at the time, but I spent my
What
whole
is that?
time.
What is a regen?
Regens.
Yeah.
So regens are people who are using crypto for positive things instead of like just trying to get rich, like degens. Like, you know, degens come into crypto just on some like degenerate trading. Let's make money, blow our bag. Regens are like, you know, I don't know if you know Jimmy Cohen, but like Jimmy Cohen, he just broke the Guinness World Record for the most trees planted in a day, and it was like funded by like DAOs and different Web3 organizations. People are doing things like that. I would say Pizza DAO is more regen for sure. They're providing pizza to the world. There's GitHub, Gitcoin, like that whole side of the Web3 space is regen. So I spent my whole time in Paris with like people from Gitcoin and, you know, all these regen projects and going to dinners and like these little parties at houses. And I'm just like hearing everybody's projects and ideas. I'm like, dang, this is crazy. Like these people are like doing really positive things. And so for about a year, I just kind of like watched everybody's projects and kind of just did my research like I normally do, just, you know, like downloading things in my mind and cooking up. Like I'm a creator. So like I'm always looking to like build something or like improve something, right? And I'm seeing all these things that I think is cool. And the really like the last piece of it was like artist program. I love how that grant situation went. And I was like, oh, this is cool what they're doing for artists and empowering artists in this way with small grants, and letting members vote. I was like, we could do this with public goods or something else. And it just happened to be public goods because I was thinking regen minded and stuff like that. So yeah, that it was a number of things. And then the artwork came from me stumbling across this old Pharrell browser game, like Pharrell character creator from like 2006. I found it again and it gave me the idea for the artwork. So that's like where the style inspiration comes from the member tokens. But yeah, so like so many things went into the gumbo of Public Goods Club for sure.
That's brilliant. I love that. I was reading the article that you had published to Mirror, and I was like, I kept seeing regen, and I'm like, what is that? But I like that
Yeah.
way better because I'm like, dog, like
All right.
I get like the degen, you know, what we're doing there,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I don't. That doesn't hit. That doesn't resonate. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It doesn't
So
really align as much with a lot, especially a lot of artists and creators. But we don't. That's just what we know of because most of us came into space, you know, during the height, or a lot of us came into space like during the big bull run, like 2021, and things like that. And it was all like trading your art and getting the highest. It was very degen, you know, focused. So like most people are just used to that and know that. But yeah, there's this whole other side of the Web3 space thriving and doing all kind of cool shit.
yeah, and that's what, like, you had mentioned Pizza DAO. Another one that comes to mind is Nouns DAO, which I've
Yep.
been I've heard about them, but the deep dive only recently started, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I met some of the
That's a deep rabbit hole.
bruh. I feel like it's never
Deep.
ending. Like the proposals are just like I've just been studying proposals and just like what they've been up to. I met some Nouns breakdancers out in LA.
Oh, wow.
Like so
Yeah, sounds
wild.
about right.
Yeah, all these different pockets. When you think of public goods, like what would you say are like your top 3 examples that really like more so not so just like stand out but like resonate deeply?
In the Web3 space or just in general?
I'd say in general. Yeah.
Okay, in general, parks. I love public art. I'm a big fan of public art, like cause. I would say cause statues,
Okay.
right? The artist cause. You see a cause statue, like there's like one of my favorite things to find when I'm in cities. I'm like, is there a cause statue in town? Like I'm gonna go find it. Like that's a public good. Parks, libraries, right? Um, yeah, things like that. I like being outside, so
Mm-hmm.
those kind of things. I'm trying to think other examples of public goods. Open source, any kind of software that's open
Okay.
source. I'm a
Okay.
huge fan of that. Any kind of CCO artwork, I'm a huge fan of that. All those kind of public goods as a creator. You know, people having that to be able to be used and learned from and built upon without having to worry about any kind of red tape is like
Mm.
amazing.
Yeah, that's a really great point. You had mentioned a few times, your background in being a creator. Can you speak a little bit about, when you're not building for public goods, like what are your favorite ways to tap into your creativity? Like, do you do music? Are you drawing? Like,
Mm.
what? Yeah, can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I'm a lifelong artist. That's the only thing I actually have always identified as, like my whole life as an artist. And now it's crazy because like I've zoomed out so much as what an artist is, right? As I get older and I just put in more hours, like it's just I zoom out. So that's why I'm like I'm a builder, but I'm a builder in the Web3 space because I'm an artist. I'm a creator. Like I'm non-technical. People constantly think I'm technical because we do all these projects. It's like I work with a bunch of devs and technical people for like the last couple of years. So now like I kind of learned the lingo a little bit, but like past MySpace pages, I don't code. Like I used to code MySpace pages, but that was my ceiling. Like but as a creator, honestly, like I work in all kind of mediums. Pretty like so many mediums. I experiment. Like I'm super curious. I just love tinkering. It doesn't have to always be so serious and so deep of like my whys and whatever. It's just like sometimes I just thought something was cool and I wanted to go do it. Like the last maybe like 2 years, I've been using AI. It's like my main medium. So now most people who are finding me are thinking like I'm a new artist who only has done art because of AI. And I'm like, dude, I went to college for art. Like I've been doing art since I was a kid. But that's just how it goes. Like people hop on the journey at different points, and that's just their context. But I'm a lifelong artist. I've had a career as a designer. I've had a career as good career as an artist, honestly. And musician. I produce music. I write. I've been a tour. I toured as a DJ with multiple artists in the past. I've worked as a creative visually with a lot of big artists and things like that. So yeah, I'm an artist. Like I'm an artist, 100%. Like I don't limit myself in any way creatively, and I don't think anybody else should either, honestly. But I surely don't. So like I could draw if I want to. Like I grew up traditional mediums, but like now everything's mostly digital that I used to work with, just because I like it. It's just new and it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a really good point that you make with, growing up as an artist and the evolution of technology and different tools to tinker with, and kind of that evolving the artist and creator journey to like now we're tapping into builder territory with like technical things, and
Yeah,
it's fun though. It's like, yo, how can we put like what
You're
ways
blurring the lines.
Yeah, and just like what ways can we push this box and like stretch these boundaries a little bit. Like it's so much fun.
Yeah,
Wow, man, I'm really excited for you and what you're building here. And
thank you.
what would you say is like your bigger vision for Public Goods Club? And maybe you don't have one yet, but is there? I just want to come in agreement and in an alignment with what that bigger vision is, so we can accelerate that manifestation as it
No, for
happening.
sure. A global recognized brand where positive and good impact is attached to it instantly, right? Like you see Nike, you think peak athleticism and forward and innovation. Same with like Apple, things like that. Things that when you see it, you just certain things come to mind. When you see the PGC logo, I want people to think positive impact. Like on a global level, and that to be globally recognized wherever that icon or whatever shows up, and to be around for years, right? Like to sustain. I built a lot of things, come and go. I would like for I've been my whole. I think I've just been trying to chase something that has real legs and can sustain for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, reach a global audience. But I want to do it this time and get that recognition for positive impact on the world. I think that would be a useful. That would be good use of my time here at this point in my life. So
Yeah, that's brilliant. I love that. Well, those are really easy there with the mic. I got like cables and mics and
it'd be like that.
yo, for real though. But no, those were really all the questions that I had for you. I really appreciate you taking the time to just like get into this a little bit. And my goal with this is that folks who aren't in Web3 can see like positive projects like what you're doing here and get like a more positive perspective as to folks like yourself who are participating in making things that are really going to generate or impact the next generation and generations to come. So I appreciate
100%.
you and the work that you're doing. And shout out to the team. We know that you're not a solo squad. Shout out to the squad.
Shout out Webby, for real, for real. Like I couldn't build half the stuff that everybody sees if it wasn't for the team Webby. So I got to shout out Chris, Jack, Ken, Skoho, Giassi, the whole gang. Because it's not just me. Everybody else is super low key. They're real devs. Like they're super low key. They're super like But like I'm on socials, I'm trying to get the word spread out. But the gang definitely makes all of that possible. All the ideas I have in my head that I bring to them, they go, yeah, we can build this.
Amazing. Yeah. Shout out to the team.
Yeah.
And yeah, shout out to you. Keep doing what you're doing, yo. And
Thank you.
I'm excited to continue.
Likewise.
Hey, I received that. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm really excited to see how this continues to progress. And yo, definitely hoping to. I'm excited to see the results of. This is like separately, but I'm excited to see the results of On Chain Summer and see how. And also like, please let us know how. This will definitely be out like post On Chain Summer, but just like as we're having a conversation, let me know however we can support. I can amplify that kind of thing, because like if it comes down to like, hey, we need the community to vote on some shit, because you know how they like to do that. Like
yeah.
Come on now,
Web3.
Bruh.
Yeah.
It's anyways. Thank you again, Big Trav. Appreciate you, and also appreciate the team. Excited to see where this vehicle of funding public goods is headed, and I'm excited to be on the ride with y'all.
Likewise. Thank you again for just taking time to do this and even wanting to do this. Thank you for just showing up in the space and being more representation. I think that's, we're a small group here. They're just trying to be heard in this space. That's so new. And, we're the minority in the world, but in this space, it feels even more a minority a lot of times. So I commend and salute anyone I see consistently showing up and just trying to, be heard and bring others into the space just so they, can identify, see themselves in the space already. So like, I just salute that. And I really want people to know the weight of that, what we're doing right now. I think it'll only be appreciated truly in hindsight, of course. But I think what we're doing right now and where we're at right now is just like, it's insane that we're doing this, right? Like, it's like the internet all over again, and people have no idea, but we're here now building. And even if the world doesn't seem to care sometimes, it's like, it doesn't matter. We still have to do it. So like, just want to give you a kudos for just showing up and doing the work as well.
I appreciate that. I received that full heartedly, because whoo, you already know the grind it take to be here.
It ain't easy. It ain't easy. None of this is easy, for real.
All right, thank you all for tuning in to Culture Shift. This has been an incredible conversation here with Big Trav and Public Goods Club. Stay tapped in to see all the good that they're going to bring to the world, because it's inevitable. It's coming. Thank you again. Stay hydrated. Stay blessed. Peace.